The tragedy of a Fox News star, often circulated online under misleading or misspelled names like Gutled, usually points to Greg Gutfeld, the outspoken host and commentator who rose to fame with his sharp wit, sarcastic edge, and ability to dominate ratings in a crowded cable news environment. But behind the laughter, the panel debates, and the polished persona lies a story that many fans find unexpectedly sad, because it reveals the toll that fame, controversy, and constant public scrutiny can take on even the most seemingly confident of personalities. Greg Gutfeld built his career by carving out a unique lane at Fox News, blending comedy with political commentary in a way that attracted a devoted audience while also infuriating critics. And over time, he became one of the most recognizable faces on the network, hosting The Five and later his own late-night program, Gutfeld, which quickly outperformed traditional entertainment shows on other networks. From the outside, it looked like the dream: career ratings dominance, financial success, and the platform to speak to millions nightly. But what most people never see is the enormous pressure that comes with being both loved and loathed so publicly, the constant attacks from rivals in the media, and the loneliness that can follow someone who spends their life sparring over politics for entertainment. The tragedy, in part, is that Gutfeld's sharp tongue and comedic timing often conceal a more vulnerable side, one shaped by years of trying to prove himself in a world that dismissed him early in his career, forcing him to fight for respect and recognition. Add to this the reality of working in one of the most polarizing environments in America, Fox News, a network always at the center of controversy, lawsuits, and political battles, and it becomes clear that being a star there is as much a burden as it is a triumph. Gutfeld himself has admitted in rare candid moments that the grind of daily television, the pressure to constantly be on, and the backlash he receives online can weigh heavily on him, and though he cloaks it in humor, it is clear that the constant demands have left him scarred in ways his audience rarely sees. The sadness comes from knowing that the very traits that make him successful, his boldness, his refusal to back down, his unfiltered style, are also the traits that isolate him, cutting him off from the kind of calm and private life that most people take for granted. In this sense, the tragedy of Greg Gutfeld is not about scandal or downfall, but about the quiet, relentless weight of living as a symbol in America's cultural and political wars. A man both celebrated and vilified, cheered and hated, and rarely allowed simply to exist as himself without judgment. For fans who admire him, this truth is sobering, because it reminds them that even those who seem untouchable on television are still human, still fragile, and still bearing private battles that can be just as painful as any public controversy. In the end, the tragedy of Fox News star Greg Gutfeld, or Gutled, as some headlines have distorted his name, is a story of a man who reached the pinnacle of his profession only to discover that success does not shield you from loneliness, criticism, or the unforgiving weight of being in the spotlight. And while his humor may mask it, the sadness beneath is very real.